Hi everyone, welcome back. I've got a bit of a different video for me today on my channel because it's been a really long time since I've done anything like this. I'm going to put on some makeup. So I like to do videos on my channel that I like to watch, and at the minute I've been really looking forward to one particular YouTuber's I suppose get ready with me's. She calls it Just Doing My Makeup. Her name's Hayley and her channel is Just Buy the Makeup, and I actually heard of her through Kat. Her and Kat have a channel called Beauty News, which I watch all the time. I get a chance really to watch YouTube much anymore, but that channel I've watched religiously right from the start, and I love it. But I'd actually found out Beauty News through Kat's channel, so I found Kat's channel first, and then through Beauty News I found Hayley's channel. So Hayley does this fab series. I just love watching her just doing her makeup, and I'm just going to put some makeup on my face. Now, I did consider using my new Too Faced Gingerbread Spice palette, and I am going to do a Get Ready With Me with that. In fact, I'd like to think I would even sort of do some Christmassy looks, but I don't want to jinx myself, because every time I seem to mention I'm going to do this video, I plan to do that video, and it's not happening, so I don't want to jinx it. But today I'm going to use Project Pan items because I've got 4 weeks left, I've got one last push to do, and I really do need to concentrate on getting these items used up. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Longest intro ever. So just to show you what I've already done, I've prepped my face by using Cup O'Coffee by Lush. It is very abrasive, so be careful if you're thinking of using that. It may feel to some more like a body scrub, but I love it on my face, and it is a face and body mask. I've used Clinique Moisture Surge. Sorry about the lighting. Clinique Moisture Surge cream, and just a little bit of the Moisture Surge face spray, and I'm going to use a little bit more of this right now because my skin just feels, you know, winter-esque. I've also used Clinique Anti-Gravity, the Anti-Gravity eye cream. Okay, so I don't always prime, but I feel like it today. So L'Oreal Lumi Magique base. This might be a little bit too old, but we shall see. And I just need help with my winter skin, and do excuse the nails, guys, they do need doing. I've got a bit of chippage going on. So what's everybody been buying from the holiday collections? I don't usually do holiday makeup. I don't usually buy limited edition stuff. You know, for something I like throughout the year, I get it. And I'm not usually like pulled in by the hype, you know, of it's Christmas, spend loads of money. But I have gone a little bit ham this year. And so tell me what you've been buying. And if you do want a video of me showing you everything I've sort of bought, I don't really do hauls anymore. But if you want to see the holiday makeup I bought, then just let me know in the comments. I've got Rimmel's Wake Me Up, which is my literally OG concealer. I've been using this since I was about 14, 15. On and off, not like constantly, and yeah, it can sometimes not be the easiest to blend, but if you've got a sponge to dab over the top of it, then it's great. It is SPF 15. I've got the shade 100 Ivory. Now I've had a little look on Rimmel. I can't remember which website, whether it was Boots or Superdrug or Rimmel's website was on, but this is sort of advertised as a medium coverage, whereas their 25-hour, the one with the comfort serum and the red top, that one's advertised as full coverage, like medium to full. So what my point is, this one's supposed to be like a lower coverage, but I don't find it to be at all a lower coverage. I've just been using the Real Techniques buffing brush, and I'm just going to dab that in with a beauty blender. Now this beauty blender is getting a bit old now. As you can see, I'm a bit cheap. I don't like to chuck it until it's absolutely dead in the water. My friend Sita's actually sent me a Tart sponge, so thank you, Sita, and I can't wait to try it. But as I say, I'm really cheap, so I'm just putting off cracking it open because I just want to keep it new. I also used a Carmex Watermelon lip balm, by the way, on my lips, and a tiny bit of tea tree oil because I've got a little bit of a blemish here and here. The camera's probably not picking that up. I hope I just don't spend the whole video saying, I'm a bit out of practice with this sort of video, so I'm feeling a bit nervous. It's probably showing. I'm going to use my Urban Decay Anti-Aging Primer Potion. I'm not sure how I feel about this. It's quite a new sort of purchase, a recent purchase, sorry, for me. Yeah, and look how it's already jacked up around there. Yeah, I'm really just not sure. It's more flattering. Can't even get my words out, but it's not as long wearing as I would like. I'm hoping that I don't discover, because I'm going to be going on a bit of a mission next year to find the perfect eyeshadow primer. I hope to goodness I don't discover that it's either or, because the MAC paint pot, for example, in Painterly that I was panning, that was quite, it's got to the point where it was really aging me, so it wasn't very flattering in that regard, but it was, the shadows lasted amazingly on top. So I'm hoping it's not going to be one of those things like, you know, with concealer under the eye, or it's sort of like you can have full coverage and look older, or you can have sheer coverage and look more tired. And I'm hoping it's not going to be a either or situation for the primer as well. So I have got an under eye concealer, teeny little beauty blender, Real Techniques one, but I just can't be bothered to wet it because I'm being lazy today. And this is Collections Lasting Perfection Ultimate Wear Concealer in the shade Fair 1. So let's just put a little bit actually of that over the blemishes. Just see if I can disguise those a little bit. I'm trying my best to give my Pan That palette a really good shot before the end of the year. I know this sounds silly because it's just eyeshadow, but I just sort of feel like I've let myself down a little bit with it. I really wanted this year to be the year that I was really going to go for it in regards to panning a palette. My Project Pan's going really, really well, but the Pan That palette, it's not going that well. I'm going to use this Real Techniques contour brush and this MAC Mineralised Skin Finish Natural in the Fair Light. Yeah, so I'm just going to use that to set my under eyes a little bit. This concealers can look a bit dry, so you want to be careful what sort of powder you set it with, I suppose. Not that I'm an expert. For eyeshadow, I'm going to use my Project Pan shadows, and these are the three. It's looking at the back of the zip out like it's going to tell me. These are Peach Smoothie, Creme Brulee and Bitten from Makeup Geek. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to end up decluttering Bitten because I just can't get pigment off it anymore. I mean, you can get a sheer wash, but it's not the sort of shade where you want to be going for a sheer wash. And with that sort of shade, when you're trying to do it as a sheer wash, it kind of comes off patchy. So if I swatch it, it doesn't look too bad, but it was much more pigmented than that. And then if I put it in the back of my hand, you can see it's really hard to get pigment out of that. So all I do is swirl my brush around both equally, Creme Brulee and Peach Smoothie. And this is a 228 Luxe Crease from Zoeva. And I'm just going to go, because I've quite hooded eyes, I'm just going to go here. I've got some, you can see this line here and here. I've got some sun damage from when I was a child. So I like to sort of take my transition shade a little bit higher and try and cover that if I can. Sort of blend over it, because otherwise it can, that done damage I've got there can often sort of look like I've not blended my eyeshadow properly. I've just realised that over recent years. Yeah, I'm knowing myself. I don't know about you guys, I'm knowing myself saying so I'm just blending that there, and I'm gonna do it on the other side as well. I actually would love to play with some of my new glitters. Oh, I've just dinged my powder. I would love to play with some of my new glitters and things I've got like that, but I'm going to a craft event at my daughter's school today, and I don't want to look too crazy. But then it is Christmas, and it's a Christmas craft. It's nearly Christmas. I might just go crazy anyway. So yeah, I haven't set anything before going in with this. And it's just because, again, the pigment on these Makeup Geek shadows are faded so much and take such building that by the time you've built it up, it's blending. You know, you can blend it because you've got so much product on your face. I'm going to apply this Too Faced glitter glue with the accent brush by Real Techniques. I have used my finger to apply this, and that's fine as well. It just depends what sort of mood I'm in, I suppose. But with the fact I do have the hooded eyes, this just really helps the lid shade to stick. And with all the panning that I do, I'm going to put it all around my inner tear duct as well. With the panning that I do, I'm often using older shades, and I do find that this helps them to stick as well. I've just applied a little bit too much. What lid shade to put on? What lid shade to put on? I'm spoiled for choice in this palette, really, but I think today I'm going to do Amber Light and, is it Honey Lust? I want to say Honey Lust. Yeah, it is Honey Lust. I want to do those half and half, more or less, blended in. Let's just go for it. I don't really know. We're doing something. And I'm going to use the 232 Luxe Classic shade out from Zoeva. Let's go into Honey Lust first. I'm going to really dig it in there because that's what you need to do with that shade. It's not really fair to say that shade needs it. I think it's more the age of the palette. And this is a cooling face mist from Beauty Formulas, and it's just a water spray. And I'm going to pop that on the inner half. So the spray and the base really sort of helps that to stand out. So I've recently noticed that Debenhams in the UK, which is where I get most of my high-end makeup, and where a lot of people in the UK living get their high-end makeup, they've been having loads and loads of sales going on. They had this event, I think it's been and gone now, where you paid, I think it was £15 for a ticket, and you went on a Thursday, but then you got to redeem that back on products, and you got like a glass of Prosecco when you arrived and whatnot, and it looked like a really good deal. But I just didn't bite the bullet and do it because I do so much of my shopping online now. I'm wondering if they're trying to encourage people to get back into store, but I doubt it, because surely if people shop online it's cheaper for them. I don't know. Amber Light, and I'm just putting it on using the same method. So it'd be quite Christmassy, I think, this look, which is good. That's what I'm going for. Is anyone watching this doing that palette? I'm going to swizzle the brush over because I've got one shade on one side and one on the other, and just sort of blend between the two. Now that does look crazy at the minute, but I need to let the water dry before I try and blend that, otherwise it will go horribly wrong. Let's just go on to brows, because why not? We might as well. The problems with these videos is they do end up being quite long, but I think if you're clicking on it to watch it, you probably already know that. I'm using Saddle from my Pan That, did I even show you that? From my Pan That palette, Saddle by MAC. And I'm not like a MAC freak, I've just realised I'm using a few MAC products. I'm not like a person just addicted to MAC and I must wear MAC, and not at all. In fact, I hardly have any MAC. It just so happens that it's my Pan That palette, and I've bought a few things from them recently. I have resisted the shiny pretty things eyeshadows, the glitters. They look gorgeous, although 3 of them look very similar. But I've resisted those because I just, as lovely as they are, and as much as I'm a makeup addict and beauty addict, they are glitters, and I mean, how much wear are you honestly realistically going to get from glitters? So I probably should make more of an effort with my brows. I'm sure every single person watching this does better brows than me, but I've had mine microbladed, sort of tattooed on, And so I've just trying as much as I can follow the shape that I was sort of given there. And I don't go around with concealer or anything like that because I don't like a bold brow. I just like a natural looking brow. I can feel that my eyelids are still wet, so we're just not going to blend that just yet. I'm going to go in with a little bit of Bitten on a 231 Luxe Petite Crease by Zoeva, because apparently there's something wrong with me and I can't just give up on things. I don't know. I've just looked at the swatch on the back of my hand and thought, although it does look sheer and not pigmented at all, tap that off, pigmented at all, it is sort of a very pretty wash of warmth and will add warmth to a look. So let's hope this doesn't go completely patchy. And I'm just using that over the seam and angle my brush like this so I don't spread my eyelid colour all over my hooded eye. Yeah, I'm just adding some warmth in the crease area. That's actually not too bad. Darn it! Now I've got I've got to actually pan it now. This is actually much more difficult to do on this eye whilst I'm filming. That's gone on quite a bit more pigmented, probably because I've loaded the brush now. Let's just even that up by putting a bit more on this side. I've just cut out a lot of boring blending for you. This is a duo fibre face brush by Real Techniques, and I usually just use this to dust off the massive fallout that I seem to be cursed with. And let's just put on some inner corner highlight. For ages now I've been using this tiny little Real Techniques brush and favouring that as highlight, but the name of it's rubbed off. I think it's either detailer brush or accent brush, something like that. I'm taking a 50-50 mixture between lemon, tart, and what is that one? I always forget. Vanilla extract. So I'm taking a 50-50 mixture. There's no mirror to this palette. Honestly, I've got black jeans on and they look absolutely filthy now. And I'm just going to pop that in my inner corner. See, the shade Lemon Tart is a bit too yellow for me anyway, for my skin tone, but then the other shade, Vanilla Extract, it doesn't have a lot of pop on its own. Let's see if we can wet this, because it's not coming out how I would like. I'm just going to dig into the shadows a bit more. So yeah, let's see if this helps. I did put the primer on there, definitely.
So I've been to my doctor's and had a cup of tea. I got a call saying I had to be at the doctor's surgery in 10 minutes. So everything's fine. I've just got poorly back and that was when I could be seen. So I had to make myself presentable just to walk out of the door. So all I've done is put Bitten on the lower lash line, and then I just blended it out with a mixture of the two colours I've got in my crease, which was Peach Smoothie and Creme Brulee. So yeah, not a lot of difference there. I slapped on a little bit of mascara. This is Lancome's Hypnose, just looking for that. And yeah, let's finish it off. So I don't like putting eyeliner on once my mascara is on, if I'm going to put eyeliner on at all, because I often just don't bother putting any eyeliner on. Sorry. So I haven't got any eyeliner on. I'm just going to leave it like that. I've also got nothing to deepen up the outer V, as some people call it. Don't really have an outer V with my eyes. I did, and I don't hate the way it looks. So again, I'm just going to miss that step out. I'm going to use the shade Brulee from MAC Warm Neutrals, and I'm just going to pop that under my brow bone, and that is the same brush that we used for the inner corner highlight. If I am going to set my eyelids, the primer, before putting any shadow on at all, it would tend to be this shade that I would use for that, and that's this one here. So I think that's enough eyeshadow for any one person. And I am panning a blush palette, so we might as well use that. This is the Blush Goddess by Makeup Revolution, and honestly I tend to really mix it up and just have a look in the mirror of the shades held up against my eyeshadow look and see which I prefer. So I'm holding up the mirror now, and I think I'm going to go with a mixture of this shade and this shade. Now you can really dig your brush in with this palette because it's made for fair skin, this palette, for sure. The brush I used there was a Zoeva 126 Luxe Cheek Finish, and the bronzer brush of choice at the moment is the Multitask brush by Real Techniques, and I'm going into the last shade in my ambient lighting palette, and I'm just going to go all over my hairline and on the outskirts of my cheeks, and just sort of slightly under. I'm not contouring, but I am just going slightly under where my blush is. And even now, in the depths of winter, with me being the palest of the pale, I can just really put quite a bit of this bronzer on. I don't necessarily know if it was meant to be used as a bronzer. I'm wondering if it's meant to have been a highlighter or a blush for somebody with darker skin than me. With my Real Techniques setting brush, I'm going to go into the central shade there, and I'm just going to put that in places where, got some bronzer, in places where you would usually highlight. It is very subtle, it is a sheen, so fabulous if you're after that sort of thing. When I use it on my nose, it just looks a little bit strange on me, even though I've got fair skin, just a little bit ashy, so I'm not going to put that there. I'm going to use my new MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish Natural in Oh Darling, and I'll just use the same brush. So I'll do a Cupid's bow, tip of my nose, and I'll just pick some off my finger. I want it quite precisely there. I'm just going to buff it out a little bit, and I'm also just going to pop some right at the top of my cheekbone, highest point there. And I'm just going to use my Real Techniques Duo Fibre brush, the one that I usually use for fallout, and I'm just going to buff that all over the face and blend that in. I do want to add some festivity to the look, so I'm going to go with a red lip, but I'm going to go with matte and nothing too bright. So 107 Lasting Finish by Kate. Pretty sure this is matte. Yeah, I think it is. It's more of a berry, I suppose, than red. I've opted not to use a lip liner because I don't really feel that it needs it. Let's just bring you up a little bit. But I am going to go for a little bit more of a festivity, and this is like one of those glitter eyeliners from Urban Decay. I've got Midnight Cowboy here, but I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to go with, this is the Starfire kit, I'm going to go with Starfire. So I know at least one of those shades you can't buy outside the pack, so I'm not sure which one it is. But I'm just going to put a little bit of this eyeliner here. Yeah, I love that so much. And this is another reason why I didn't buy the Shiny Pretty Things glitters from MAC, because I already got this. You can be so precise with this as well, which is lovely. Yeah, so that's enough. I won't put any more, just a tiny weeny bit on the lower inner corners, because I am going to a school at the end of the day. And I'm just going to set my makeup. So let me know, anybody let me know if you went to this Debenhams Thursday event, because you were supposed to get 15% off everything and redeem your ticket price. And if anyone recommends it, then I will give it a go next time it comes about, but I didn't go to it on this occasion. This is the Clinique, Clarins Fix makeup, and it's nearly completely gone, which is why it's not coming out very well. And yeah, that's the finished look. I'm going to leave it right there. Sorry I had to pop away halfway through, guys, but you didn't really miss much. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to see more of these, let me know in the comments and give me a thumbs up, because if they're not popular, then I won't continue to do them. But I just thought I'd give it a go because it's something I really enjoy watching. And I'll see you soon, guys.